Can you still do that in modern times? Can you just bounce?
Like internet.
No, I think they quickly fine you and like, what is it called? They don't sequester your wages. What is
Garnish.
the term? Garnish. That's what I'm looking for. Thank you. Yeah, they'd look you up and garnish your wages, and
they'd be like, "We recognized your face near a Pizza Hut in Albany."
Oh,
it's like, fuck, they got me. I jaywalked and the Chinese technology flagged me down.
Some red light cameras making you pay child support now.
Yeah, now you have to
listen to your Wi-Fi and now found you. So.
Yeah,
maybe you could become like a migrant worker and work for cash only just to spite her.
You know what you do? Yeah. You just pay it forward. You illegally immigrate to Canada. Just moving on.
But how aggressive are they about throwing us out?
I don't think they can, dude. They don't have
guns. Or
the whole country no guns.
Their cops don't even have guns. They use stern words.
That would be fucking awesome. Like imagine if Imagine if Justin Trudeau like continues his anti-gun policy to the point where he literally disarms all of Canada, like zero fucking guns. They never have a school again. But then the next year we just straight up invade them.
We're bringing back to democracy and school shootings.
It's just the Mounties and the Canadian military standing between us and Quebec.
Yeah, guess what? Canada's huge. Another 50 states, even 100. How about that?
Yeah,
you're being fooled by that Mercator projection. It's not that big.
I want to sell Puerto Rico.
Everyone knows that. You want to sell Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
How much? What do we get for it?
Greenland.
Just take it.
Oh, Greenland, obviously that's a trade. That's a way bigger island, and I've never been to either one, but
I don't even know how big Greenland is. That fucking Mercator projection messes me up so bad.
I think it's the size of South fucking America.
Dude, I've overcorrected myself with the Mercator projection thing. So like on that little map, sometimes I'll be like, yeah, Russia, and then like drag it down and be like, oh no, it's enormous. Like
Russia
Canada.
the biggest country?
Yeah, Russia's the biggest, then Canada, then us.
Do you know who the most populous is?
India now, right?
It's not China.
I think India. Either they just passed him or they're passing him this year. It's something like that.
Congrats.
We're talking about this the other day, like how big Australia is, and someone's like, "Oh yeah, no, it's tiny." And I'm like, "No, it's like as big as America." And they like, "Oh, no, Texas is bigger than Australia." And there's a cattle ranch in Australia that's like it's a comparable size to Texas, and it's like run by 12 dudes.
It's Australia.
Like, it's like
huge,
fucking gigantic. But when you look at it on the map, it just looks fucking tiny.
There's just not much like usable space. Yeah.
Oh no! I mean, you could use it to store nuclear waste, like the
to call Australia the motivation for fallout.
I'm really fascinated by abandoned towns, cities, and like places like that where you go somewhere and say, "Oh my god!" Like there's paved streets and road signs and stuff, but this place is deserted 100%. One of them is this asbestos mine out in the Australian outback, where obviously there came a time when we realized asbestos wasn't so great for you, so we stopped mining for it. But the whole town's there that was built around the industry of the asbestos mine, the same way that at the turn of the last 2 centuries ago, with the gold rush, you would have those encampments that would sprout up, and then later on they'd become the cities that we know out west. But originally it was just a bunch of miners and whores stopped there for a week because it was convenient.
Yeah,
it's neat.
Is that like the Blue Sky mine? I think it is.
I don't remember the name of it, but if it's an asbestos mine that's abandoned, I don't know what this is. But there you go. That's what I found interesting. All the homes.
Did you go there, Kyle?
In Australia?
Oh, I'm sorry, I got a little mixed up.
You know what?
Zach wrote Pennsylvania in the chat, and I conflated the story.
Yeah, it's in the Pilbara region, which is like in the middle of fucking nowhere. But like that's in Western Australia. Like Western Australia is so fucking massive. Like it's there'd be heaps of towns like that up there. They just mine. They go there, they just mine everything out, and then they're just like, no, the next one.
There's some cool American towns that like just totally failed. Like they used to be mines and now they're just empty, or towns that are so small or decrepit. I think they're neat. I think it's cool to visit. When I go to a town and it's too small to support a gas station, I'm like, what? How do people live here? There's no grocery store. There's no gas station. Like, how do you survive without the basics?
There's places where it's like there's just a Quick Stop and a Dollar General, 28 miles down the road, the closest one. Like that, there's tons of like driving through like the South, like even southern Missouri. Like you go through a bunch of towns like that where it's like you blink and you're through it, and it's like sometimes it's sad. It's often sad because it's like you can tell there used to be like community there. Like people grew up there and like have fond memories of it, and now it's like dilapidated and sad and
well, they couldn't get any jobs, so they obviously have to leave. But
yeah, it's because of the interstate system.
Yeah, there's one near us that has like there's like a whole bunch of houses, and then it just has like it's like a gas station sort of like stop, has like food and stuff like that, but they have more ammunition on the shelves than they have food there, because like heaps of people drive through there to their properties that are past there to go hunting, so they sell more ammunition than they do food. So it's like it's pretty funny to walk in there and just like, oh yeah, just like 3 loaves of bread and then like 300 boxes of 223. It's like very funny.
It's funny, like you forget as an American that in other countries they're like, and you can go into this store that sells bread and they've got guns right there, and you're like, yeah, what else? Like, yeah, I know it's called the gun section, dude. Like, yeah, like, that's where you go. It says guns.
Oh,
like,
yeah. I remember going to the gas station as a kid.
It's the funniest bit that there's just like there's less food than there is ammo there. Like, and that's meant to be like their supermarket.
They don't want to sell food. Those guys are going hunting. They want to eat.
Yeah, exactly. They'll get their own food. Like,
I remember going to the gas station as a kid and getting like Little Debbie snacks and a Coke and 22 bullets. Because we're driving down the road to where we've got some cattle property leased, and there's going to be something to shoot.
That's what I remember stopping at those gas stations, and I'd get some kind of soda, or usually sometimes a Yoo-hoo if they had Yoo-hoo. I'd get one of those dip things that had beef jerky in it, and we'd get orange sporting clays and shells, and then we'd go shoot clays. That's a fun memory.
You can still do that in some parts in like where I live. There's like that specific shop. Like we drive past that to go to my mate's sort of like lake house thing where we do like a lot of shooting, and we'll just stop in there and just buy like fucking crates and crates of fucking 12 gauge and play targets, and it's just all just sitting in there in the service station. Like people think it's like that's the thing. I don't think many people would go there, so they're like, oh, that doesn't happen in Australia, mate. It does. It's definitely
driving out west through Texas and New Mexico. There would just be on the side of these lonely highways a sort of makeshift shooting range, like, and it was clear that there was enough use of people driving by like us that were like, "Fuck it, let's get out and shoot." That it just got used all the time. Like, I saw a map the other day, and it was the percentage of gun ownership per state. Like even in New York, like it bottoms out at 10%. I mean, there's no states below 10%. And when you get down here, and especially Georgia's not one of the most intense, but the most intense places, it's like 70% or above.
Damn, where are those
households own a gun? Like most of the country.
Oh yeah, I would imagine. Yeah.
Like the majority of states in like the middle of the country, especially when you went out west where it's farms and police are so spread out. I think the Dakotas maybe and Montana, they were like dark red where everybody's got a gun.
Now that I'm thinking, like, it is kind of weird if someone just doesn't have a shotgun.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have 25% owners in Australia.
That's much higher than I would have thought.
That is good for you guys. You need to get those numbers up.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. A lot of people like, and also like the amount, like people that own guns usually own like a lot. So it's like, but it's kind of weird because I always get that, like people are like, oh, you don't have any, and then I like actually look at the stats and I'm like, actually no, we kind of do. We got we've got more than the UK. Like
you've only not got a lot compared to America, and nobody has a lot compared to us. Like
exactly, like you can't beat that.
People here love guns.
Love them.
And
because
that's not Minnesota's dragging our average down.
Yeah, California's ruining the whole West as well. Like
Illinois and Minnesota, you bastards, and Michigan. No, and Michigan. Well, what's the Missouri stat? The best state in the Midwest.
There is a town here in North Atlanta called Kennesaw.
I know it makes sense.
And gun ownership there is mandatory.
Really?
Yeah.
Do they have to like learn how to use it, or is it just like, here you go, you're 18?
You just have to have guns in the house, and they can't be locked up. And if you don't abide, they will shoot you. And there's nothing you can do about it because
your gun's locked up.
Yeah. Have a gun.
Oh, they only shoot the non-gun owners. Yeah, but it is mandatory. I always wondered about, like, what are they going to, like, come around and check, see if I got one? Show me your gun. I don't have one. Well, come out with your hands up. That doesn't really make sense if you think it through, sir.
Shut up. I'm power tripping. Yeah.
You're arresting me for not owning a weapon, but you want me to move real slow in case I've got a weapon. I'm now do the hokey pokey and turn around, bitch.
Bang, 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 bang.
That cop that did that, I'm referencing the cop that this guy was drunk in a hotel hallway, and the cops got him AR-15 point. And he's giving him these weird directions, and the drunk guy doesn't do it just right and falls over because his shorts are falling down, and dude kills him. And
it's brutal.
His gun said, like, I don't know, lights out with a skull on it or something like that.
Yeah, it was like
that officer ended up, get fucked or something on his gun. That officer ended up getting, I think, counseling for the trauma that he suffered after killing that man. And then I think he got retirement. I think he got like full retirement and everything.
Yeah.
Because, he doesn't be a cop anymore because killing that man in that hallway shook him up so much.
Murdering that man.
If you can imagine just a drunk dude who's crawling on the ground and their like basketball shorts are falling off a little, and the guy's like, crawl. No, get down. No, crawl. Now on your knees. And like he's like going from prone to on his knees to sort of standing up a little, like over and over because the cop's giving such sort of.
So these cops trying to get him to do certain motherfucking.
Crawl towards me. Hands behind your head and crawl towards me. It's like, what are you asking me to do? Like,
that was awful.
Which one do you want, sir?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I can't like think like if a guy was on his like pants around his ankles, like laying on the fucking ground. Even if I didn't have a firearm, I can't really think of any perceived threat there. Like this guy's so fucking drunk. Like I could kill this man with my fists. Like
you could just like say on the radio, like, hey, that call we got, it's some drunk dummy laying in the middle of the hallway. Just cancel everything. This is ridiculous. Like, tell him to send. He vomited in the hallway. Tell him to send up a fucking maid.
That one never made sense to me. I didn't understand like how. Why he had a rifle, and why is he pointing the rifle, and why is he screaming? It's like this guy's drunk and goofy in the hallway. Like, I would have been like, sir, we had a few beverages tonight. Man. That's it was that environment. It was so crazy to see him kill that fucking guy.
It's like that that one where the dude was in the wheelchair with the knife. It's like and they shot him. Have you seen that one? That one's like, man, just walk up and switch off his phone. It's like an electric wheelchair. Like this guy's like
just wait.
Disabled. And they like he's
hang on.
trying
if he's in a I did see that one. I was okay with that.
Yeah, I look. Fuck him. He's a cripple.
I'll co-sign.
He's like,
he was like fleeing the scene in his Crip vehicle.
Yeah, but he's going like 3 kilometers an hour. Like it's like
American police officers are not built for speed or long distances.
Yeah, but it's like you could have just shot like the battery on the thing. But that's the same. It's like saying just shoot the fucking what's his face? Just like shoot him in the leg. It's like it's really hard, but it's like that was kind of weird.